All right.
もうすぐあの胸は取り壊されます。それまでに調べていただきたいのです。
Yeah, makes
アイ
sense.
ス様のおっしゃる呪い。
That was a very crazy ending last episode. I mean, I can't think of a single possible reason. Unless it's a very intricate dummy. Reasonable. Ah, right. What would the Emperor think about all this? Oh, she's back here. What is Mama's true position? Even I'm wondering, like, by the end of the show, what will she become? Probably go back, right? Oh. Oh.
紳士様のお気に入りたちよ。マオマオは紳士様をどう思う？
What about that crystal?
いい上司だと思います。遊ぶから紳士様からほっそり隠したものなの。でもそうなると手がつけられないくらい泣いてしまって。
他にもおもちゃはございます。
Hey, Gaoshan. Kind of looks like his grandfather.
どうにかしようとガオシュンが生まれた人ではないからよ。嫌でも背伸びして大きくなってもらわなくてはいけなかった。それが紳士様の母君の願いだったから。
Who is his mother?
抑圧された環境で育つと心に影響を受けると聞く。本質の一つなんだろう。
Never got to experience
そ
childhood.
れでいて周りからは麗しの宦官扱い。この絵はあら、こんなところに捨てろと言われていたのに。
Okay. Pretty strange reaction.
触ってもいいですか？いいわよ。
There it is.
ただの小石よ。正解です。
Oh. Poison.
ですから。どういうこと？それはこちらが聞きたいです。なぜこんなものが落ちていたの？
Oh, damn.
ママは幼い頃、内廷に入ることがありましたか？多少は。
Did he steal one of those things from his grandfather's place?
今は何も言えません。
Paint as poison.
いつの間にか紳士様まで。あまり大げさにしたくなかったんだけど。
She looks so young to be the Empress Dowager.
やはりこれは。先帝は絵を描く趣味があったのでしょうか？
一度だけ描いていただいたことがあります。ここだけの秘密だとおっしゃっていました。皆に知られたら取り上げられて
Others
しまう
meaning
からと。
his mother, right? The great grandmother.
紳士様の癖だ。
がこの部屋にこもるようになってからは同じものがついていたはずです。
その方を呼べますか？
確かまだ働いていたと思いますが。
呼びましょう。
Okay.
触っても
It was said that his mother used to be with him all the time, right?
でその汚れは
All these
壁に
years
近づ
later.
くほど増えている。
Oh,
柔らかい。分厚い紙を何重にも貼っているのは
secret layer.
頑丈にするためか表面に塗料も塗られている。やんごとなきお人の部屋を任されるのは
Yeah.
かなり高齢に見え
I
る。
mean, you need someone to take care of
お聞き
him.
したいことがあるのですが。
この
He
人
can't.
は元奴隷です。また喋れません。
わかりました。そういうことか。
Tongue
口
cut
が
off?
聞けない人を選んで使用人にすることはままある。
Ah, to divulge
常に人の目に
secrets.
さらされるやんごとなき方ならなおさらだ。この壁紙、剥いでもいいでしょうか？やめろとでも言わんばかりだな。
Yeah.
構わない。
Dude, I'm so intrigued.
どうせ壊されるのだもの。それで何かわかるなら。
What are we going to find? Oh. Not to tear off the evidence. Oh, that looks like a big ass painting of a tree. My man was a painter.
選定が書かれたものでしょう。選定の人間性に興味はない。ただ国の頂に立ったために本当の才能を生かすことなく亡くなったのだ。
Ah.
それだけの力がこの絵にはある。この女性が着ている衣の色、これは竜王という石を砕いて作った絵の具だと思います。竜王は火毒と同じ毒性を持っています。そして火毒には物を腐りにくくする作用があります。
Really?
最初
That big of an
壁
effect?
紙か何かに使われた硫黄を違う可能性が出てきました。
And him
硫
being
黄を元にした顔料を使って
and him being locked in this room all those years.
少しずつ選定の体に取り込
Oh,
ま
can
れ
that
てい
actually
たのでしょう。
happen in real life? Not decompose your
亡くなられ
body?
る頃、帝ともあろうお方が絵を描くなんてとんでもないと。
Yeah, that's a very
少なくとも
good discussion to
周り
have.
はそう捉える。だからバカ殿と呼ばれた選定でも公にはしなかった。口の聞けない奴隷の従者に部屋の管理を任せていたのも
The
そのためだ。
crown controls the person wearing it, right?
この下に一体何枚あるんだ。
Oh
こ
wow.
れほど多くの絵となると道具を用意したのはおそらく
It's like a whole sketchbook of paintings.
その地位を手に入れた悪を守ろうと自分
Accidentally.
のもとに権力を集めた。たとえ女帝と呼ばれるようになったとしても、このために何でもした女帝が最後に与えたのがこの場所と
Oof, not sure if that was the best.
私が言えるのはここまでです。
ええ、十分な。
Did not say a lot. Kept most of her thoughts to herself as always. But what does Jinshi think of all this? And what does she think of all this?
早急の彼方にいる誰かに問いかけているみたいな。
She didn't even know her husband,
なんて
the real
感傷的になってる
husband.
な。
Would you still tear down this building?
かすれていてもなお、あの
Ah,
方の存在感は大きいのね。
the previous emperor's dowager.
私
Careful.
はこの絵の中にいるのかしら。偶然選定の手にかかり、身ごもった幼い娘。父は文官で、母は側室。そして幼い顔の割には所長が来るのが早かった私を、父は都合のいい道具として。
Damn, man, that is disgusting.
高級には中級妃の次女として入った。
早く飾りをつけてちょうだい。はい、お姉様。
Similar to Li Hua and
ですか。お待ちしておりました。
he has tastes in younger women. That's probably where the rumor started. He looks so much like Jinshi.
どうぞ中へ。
帝
A repressed childhood,
とても国の頂点に立つ者には思えなかった。
just like how Jinshi is,
次
right?
女に
At times
草木を慰めるか。
took her opportunity.
大丈夫でしょうか。
帝の目は確かにこちらを
No,
捉
took her
えた。
opportunity.
野心に満ちた。私は選定の子を宿し、何度も命の危険にさらされた。幸運だったのは、子が男子で、女帝が孫であると認めてくれたことだろう。
よしよし。
That's the current
以
emperor.
前女児を産んだ娘がいた。娘は選定の子だと言い張ったが、選定に知らぬと否定され、内で虚勢を免
What
れ
the-
ていたから。それ以来、 以下の虚勢を義務付けられた。
Wow, wow.
この腹の手術をした者も不憫なことこの上ない。
さらに時が経ち、
Dude, so many things are happening.
少女の外見で亡くなった私に先帝は会いに来ようとはしなかった。
また高級が拡張するそうね。
はい、師匠様が進言なさったとか。
But she continued to remain as the Empress Dowager, right?
女帝の傀儡としてのみ存在し、幼い
There has to be a
娘にしか
reason
まと
why.
もに話しかけられない。
I mean, his reaction was not normal. But
そんなものに忘れられるのは
yeah, from the outside looks very wrong.
私が怖いですか？私が大人の女になったから男に手をかけられた幼い娘たち、偉大な母である女帝よりも深く思い出につなぎ止めるために。その後先帝は心を壊してあの胸に引きこもった。あの男はこの部屋で女帝である
That was one hell of a story.
野心のない娘たちばかり思い描いていたのだ。
So Jinchi was born from her, right? Assuming the Ado swap.
私を描いてくれた。
Then who was the emperor born
その
from?
絵もとても大事にしていたけれど、睡蓮に捨てるようになった。私には必要ない。私が先帝にとって必要ないように。
Was that the drawing? Okay, please confirm something here.
昔あの方が私たちの元へ来たことがありましたね。
ええ、何年前だったかしら。
Her voice changed.
あの時こんなものを拾いました。睡蓮がようやく返してくれました。一度私はあの絵を見たことがある気がします。年若い娘の絵で淡く色付けされていました。好んでこの色を着ていらっしゃいましたね。
He looks very similar to him. Hmm.
たまたまよ。
あの絵の女性は本当に女帝なのでしょうか。
I just thought of that.
あの時あの方は何を伝えようとしたのでしょう。
There's more to the story. I want to know. Maybe it was a plea.
知ろうとしないことを
chose
選ん
not
だ。
to know.
それよりもあなた、ずいぶん面白い女官に目をかけているようですね。
何年も見てきたのだから。
お気に入りは隠しておかないと誰かに隠されてしまうわよ。
That was the best episode so far. Yeah, a lot of things talked about in this episode. Quite the heavy episode, similar to Lacan's backstory, right? This is one of those standout episodes of the whole show. And yeah, it seems to be that this is gonna be built more and more because we still don't know that great grandmother, the then Empress Dowager, right? What was she up to? What did the then late emperor wanted to convey to her wife, to his wife? And you know how Jinshi processes all of this. It's crazy how the cycle keeps repeating. Also, a lot of parallels with Jinshi and the late emperor. Repressed personalities not being able to showcase your true talents, or rather, your personality as a whole because of the position you're born in. Like Mama notices, right, that this must also be a part of his true personality, and he's showing those childish behaviors every now and then. And so far, we've taken these as comedic moments between the two, but now there's a darker, more serious element to it because how Jinshi was raised. Not to the extent of the late emperor. That was an extreme case, and I think there's a lot more to comment on what really happened with him. But like, I like that we are getting these answers. That, I mean, knowing about the past and the characters back then, uh, you come to understand the current position of everyone more clearly, right? Why Jinshi is the way he is, how his relationship is with his older brother. I'm still very much confused about that. Is the current emperor his brother or uh, his father? I mean, in this episode, was very strongly hinted that yeah, Jinshi is the son of the Empress Dowager, but that's what they know. They don't know that Ado swapped both of them, right? I don't know when that will get revealed. But yeah, we finally figured out that uh, this arsenic like element, and he was slowly taking it in his body, which is what probably caused his death and also preserved his body in this weird, uh, morbid manner, right? Don't know what will happen to the building, but yeah, I finally got to know that he was a painter, and this is so interesting that you we have the added context of the what was this thing, the mother, the mother something, I forgot the name, the mother royal, right? Who created this whole test of the people who are colorblind will ascend the throne, right? So it fell to him. I'm assuming he had good eyesight and was colorblind. That's why he got into the position. And just like the concubines who become the empress, even the empress are chosen at random, it seems, because of that whole tradition. And it can fall, that responsibility can fall on anyone at a moment's notice, right? And then their whole life is gone. It can be a curse or a blessing depending on how the person took. And definitely the late emperor and the mother of the late emperor, both more so her, thought that was a curse and wanted to shield her child, which I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, because uh, I don't know how she raised him, but he clearly was a very troubled individual, seen in the reaction as the Empress Dowager uh, reminisces about the past and how he used to act. Whereas in this room, in this safe room, right, with the slave who can't talk, and the Empress Dowager who would always be the then Empress Dowager who would always be around his son, he felt comfortable. But I think he became very much dependent on his mother, is what everyone thinks. But what I am understanding now, at the end of the whole episode, is that he was trying to escape this, right? He's trying to escape her clutches, and if this is true, that this is his wife he is drawing and not the Empress Dowager, as everyone seemed to believe, then yeah, he was calling for help, even though he was very nervous about it. Uh, but she chose not to see it, and that will be her regret, right? That's why she, I mean, over here she assumes that that is the Empress Dowager back then. But as Jinshi mentions that that's the cloth she used to wear, so he's drawn her with that color of poison. Uh, that's pretty tragic. Yeah, she had ambition, so you can't say that he chose you out of the crowd. I mean, you went for it, right? That's what you did not share in the previous episode. Who accidentally fell victim, right? That's the narrative that everyone is talking about. But she went for it. I still can't comment on the late emperor and his preference for younger girls and why he acted like that. But he was a very troubled individual. Once we get to know more about him, then we'll be able to comment. But yeah, from the outside looking in, not a good look, man. But this point, this random throwaway thing. There was once a girl who gave birth to a daughter, but he denied it, saying he knew nothing of it. So she stayed here, and a doctor was declared the father and was exiled with the baby. So they're out, right? And since then, the doctors were castrated, which happened to Lumen. Or was he exiled? The girl who gave birth to the so called daughter was left in the rear palace. Who is this? I have no idea. And what happened to the daughter? Because, I mean, for a second I thought it was Mama, but Mama is Lakan's daughter, right? Not that. Shisu seems to be a possibility. I don't know. Because why is Shisu in focus for this season, right? And she even made that remark about the Empress Dowager, about her. Like, she's a kind woman. And the shot lingered for a moment there. So I'm wondering what role she has to play. But yeah, this whole thing about being too old now and left aside. Rear pals continue to grow, tasked with the same mission. But then she stopped it because of this, the way she was being treated, right? And that one night, she broke him, and he no longer went out, and that was it. She became the Empress Dowager because he bore no more sons. So I'm so confused. She had only one child, right? Who she believes is Jinshi. Then who was the Emperor born from? Are they half brothers? I am. Please, someone help me with this. Yeah, I mean, he's a victim just as she is. I don't know who to blame. Maybe the Empress Dowager back then. Thinking only about his mother. That's what she thinks. Yeah, very, very complicated character. The late Emperor. He did fall in love with her. But yeah, we need to see more. This was very sweet. We're both acknowledging, like, in silence, right? Thinking about the good man that he was, not what people labeled him as, right? Speaks a lot about how they remember him, at least how he remembers him. And then coming back to Jinshi. Nice. Better treasure Mama or Jinshi. She's one in a million. Alright, next episode.
マウマを紹介するわ。翡翠宮に来た新しい侍女たちよ。三姉妹なの。
Whoa.
白です。北空です。石油です。
Huh?
似た姉妹だな。
お元気でしたか。はい、お久しぶりです。
One more thing I didn't mention last episode is that often
みんな同郷で
people who become concubines or lady in waiting,
玉葉様と同い年よ。
同郷の人間だけで固めるのか。
families, it's pretty rough for them, right? One who ascends to something higher and one who gets left behind.
毒味役のマウマウです。国空様。
What happened with the Empress Dowager and her
じゃあ
elder sister?
石油様。
白空よ。
Haku.
物置で問題ありません。お庭様にもここが私の部屋だと言われましたし、このまま使わせていただきます。
ダメに決まってるでしょ。また冗談を。
Show her one more of those lizard tails.
いやでも荷物も全部部屋。
Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
新しい侍女たちにも示しがつかないわ。
Why are these three introducing this? This is so funny standing together.
あなたたち。あらあら、物置はすっかりマオマオの巣になっていた
The。core story.
小屋は好きにしていいわよ。
でも寝るときは元の部屋を使ってちょうだいね。
新しい次女が来て、一人当たりの仕事の量はぐんと減った。
I should think so.
玉葉様が解任して、今以上に人手が必要になる翡翠宮にとって利合いを取るためでもあるのだろう。
Right, when the baby comes and if it's a boy, they need to have that presence that I'm the concubine who's going to become the empress.
インファ様が小屋に引きこもるのを止めたのはおせっかいだけど。
It's much like her old home, right?
す
Outside.
みません、勝手なことばかり。
私に悪いと思ってる。
ええ、それはもちろん。
だよね。じゃあ早速今夜付き合ってもらうわよ。
Ghost story.
今晩暇なのは私とマウマウだけなのよ。
今夜の外出、本ニャン様は。
大丈夫よ。許可はもらって
I'm
る
surprised she is going on something like this, considering how fragile her heart is.
この辺りは古い建物しかないはずだ。
Okay, while Shisu appears, she resides in the north. It feels like a breather episode.
いらっしゃい。参加者は2人ね。はい、よろしくお願いします。
What the hell is seance?
ここは先帝の時代に使われていた場所なのよ。
Late emperor again?
昔に比べて女官がだいぶ減ったけど、こういう時にはぴったりよね。
What the
空い
hell?
ているところに座って。揃いましたね。
Who are we
こ
talking
ん
to?
な暑い日に締め切った部屋に12人も集まって。
皆さん、お話の準
Is this really a campfire story time?
今宵は肝が冷える13の話を楽しみましょう。
13の話。
我に思った女官が堀に花を浮かべると、どこからか声が聞こえてきます。
Are they each telling a scary story?
下女の白い顔が浮かび上がり、女官が慌てて逃げようとすると、
This is how rumors start.
掴まれ、あの
And they
日
take it very seriously.
私を突き落としたのは
Was you?
怖がりだけど好きなわけね。
Yeah. Oh, they're extinguishing the candles one at a time.
そういうは娯楽が少ない。
You manufacture it.
認められているようだ。
こんばんは。
There she is.
食べる？
の故郷の話なんだけど、そこには古くから入ってはいけないと言われている森があった。もし入れば呪われて鬼に魂を食われてしまう。
Naturally,
でもある時、一人の子供が
as you do.
教えてあげる。あの森にはたくさん食べ物があるよ。けれど、森に入ったことが村人たちに知られて、親子は村八分になった。翌日、その知らせを聞いた村長が親子の家を訪ねると、子供はすでに死に、母親も亡くなる寸前だった。母親は村長にこう言った。ねえ、いいこと教えてあげる。そこまで言って母親は死んだ。その死に顔は不気味に笑っていたの。鬼が現
Pretty
れ
solid story.
魂を食われるという。
Huh, nice.
なるほど。
なるほどって何が？
後で教える。
She probably figured out the secret but doesn't want to spoil it for
な
everyone.
んか眠い。狭いところに大人数だし。
Carbon dioxide,
少し人
poisoning.
酔いしたかな。
Enclosed spaces. And you're burning oxygen while burning candles.
これは遠い遠い東の国のお話。
I'm so glad we're getting this.
遠方での
The actual
葬儀を
stories.
終えて帰る途中、僧侶の前に現れたのは一軒の古びた民家だった。
In the middle of the
夜分に失礼。ごめんください。
どうされました？
妻は僧をもてなし、寝床まで用意してくれた。
Who's the demon?
何も持ち合わせておらぬ
Is it the monk or the
せめ
family?
てものお礼にと今日をあげることにした。
そんなんじゃダメだよあんた。私は一人になりたくないんだ。
じゃあどうするつもりだ。
もう耐えられない。
言い争っているのか。止めに入った方がいいか。
Hmm.
いや、今日はやめてはいかん。
What? What?
やるよ。どこだあの像は。
What? Don't stop chanting. Don't stop chanting, man.
いないよ。見つけないと。でないと私。
僧侶は咀嚼音が聞こえなくなるまで
Shisu, what the hell, man? Why would you tell such a scary story?
僧侶は外へ出た。若い夫婦の姿はなく、そこには虫の羽が落ちていた。話し方がうまいな。まるで別人みたいだ。この横がなんか見覚え。
Don't do this to me right now. I've already been suspecting her of being the daughter, the granddaughter.
墓地に人玉が出るという噂が立ちました。いかにも怪しいと勇敢な若者たちが正体を探りに行きました。すると
Oh, stories merging.
同じ町に住む男が墓地を掘り起こして死体の腹を裂いて
Yeah, mom was not gonna tell a story.
人の肝を。もういい。以上です。
That's more scary.
次、インファ様ですよ。
She's probably gonna scare herself to death telling the story.
あるところに男が。
Shisu has a natural talent for these things.
先帝時代の話です。
Again, the late emperor.
高級は次々と人が増え、先帝の思考に合う娘を揃えるためでした。
Not correct.
先帝は年派もいかぬ少女を選んではその花を散らし、
Mama's sleepiness is not natural.
外に出ることを許されぬまま一人身ごもった少女がおり、
Oh shit.
先帝に訴えましたが、少女は高級を出ることも許されず、死ぬ間際に一言、次はお前たちの番だ。
頭がぼーっとするわけだ。インファ様、止水。ぐったりしている女官を窓や扉の近くへ。
Yeah.
気づくのが遅すぎたの。
Yeah.
もう少しだったのに。
あの女官は。
What the hell?
なんかバタバタだったわね。主催者の女官もいなくなって。
You're way too cheery for what happened.
さっきの。
知り合いの女官です。
One second.
ねえマオマオ、さっきの話は何だったの？
さっきの？
ほら、近畿の森の話だよ。
森は食べ物が豊かですが、食べられないものも豊富にあります。他の土地から来た人間が森にあるものを食べて体を壊してしまう。すると森のものをむやみに食べてはいけないと言われるようになるでしょう。
And how do
そ
you?
してそれは年月を経て禁忌に
Right.
なります。食べ物を取って日が落ちると家に帰ってくる
That's
でしょ
so
う。
dangerous not knowing
ス
what
キヨ
you're
ダケ
picking up.
という平竹に似たキノコがあります。遠目に見たら人玉に見えたかもしれません。
So the mother picked it up afterwards.
体力が落ちた親子が食べたらどうなるか。
美味しいキノコが森の中にあるよ。
自分たち親子を見捨てた村人への復讐として。
Damn.
そういうことだったんだ。すっきりした。じゃあ私こっちだから。
Where do you live? What was that whole thing about that goat lady?
あら、思ったより早かったのね。
She was planning to kill all of them?
天までやっていた女官が亡くなったから、今年は誰が引き継いだのか心配だったのよ。
Ha.
気の利くいい人で、私もお世話になったのよ。つまりがなくなるのもいかがなものかと思っていたから、続けてくれる人がいてよかったわ。
Mama, please explain this, please.
あの話。先帝は年派もいかぬ少女を選んではその花を散らし、倒られた少女たちは外に出ることを許されぬまま。
あの女官の話は
Yeah,
己の身の上だ
figured
った
as
のか
much.
それとも事情を知る誰かのいたずらか。
Lead Emperor is a central theme to the story,
よ
character.
くわからないことはたくさんあるものだ。
今宵は肝が冷える13の話を楽しみましょう。
あの時あの場には
Yeah,
年
so
下
what's the
様の顔を
13th
含め
story?
て12人しかいなかった。
What they will
と
become?
りあえず
Yeah,
13番目の
I
階
thought
段に
so.
ならずに済んでよかった。はい、背筋が凍るどころか寝苦しい夜になったのだった。
Okay, deep reflection about something. What? What is this? Well, that was a fun little episode. I'm sure something thread of the story will follow somewhere later. That mention of, you know, these young girls were in the real palace, and one of them actually had a kid tied to the previous episode, and then Mama also looking at Shisu. She looks very familiar with that angle, very similar to. Um, hmm. I mean, I can't tell who she looks similar to because these characters all look similar to each other. But yeah, I'm gonna keep that in my mind. But yeah, I love this episode. I thought it was just gonna be ghost stories, but by the end, it really became one. Uh, they would have become the 13th story. That was very cool. Also, that one story that Shisu said with all the visuals, that was scary, man. That was very well told, both visually and her voice narrating the whole scene. That was pretty good. Also, we got to debunk one of the ghost stories through Mama's intelligent mind. And yeah, right as she was feeling sleepy and they were in a closed space, 12 of them, the candles burning, I thought that is dangerous. I mean, you're burning all the oxygen away. I am surprised Mama, it took her so long. I guess by the time her faculties came to, she was already, sleep deprived. It kind of lowers your mental capacity, your reason of thinking. So yeah, that was very scary. Don't know whether that person was real or not, or someone exacting revenge on behalf of that person. A lot of mysteries, but yeah, very very cool episode. Uh, at the end, Jinshi seems like he's reflecting upon something. Resolve, right, towards something. So yeah, let's see what happens in the next episode. But that's it for this video. See you guys in the next two episodes. Hopefully, I'll catch up by then. Not by then, but in 2-3 weeks. But yeah, I'm really enjoying season 2 so far. It's pretty fun. Yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.